today's results have already started to challenge the upside potential of that target. It'll be really exciting to see just how much improvement there is when we come to publish the maiden MRE later this year, not only in terms of tonnage, but in terms of the average grade following these higher grade hits.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Oriole Resources Executive Director, Claire Bay. Claire, good morning. Good to speak with you. Could you start by telling us about today's news?
Morning, Stephen. Yes, today we've reported results for the next 3 holes of our 7,000 metre maiden diamond drilling programme at our Umbe project in Cameroon. We're delighted to say that these holes have delivered some of the highest grades to date from the programme, with the standout result being just over 6 metres at almost 20 grams per tonne, which includes 1 metre at 119 grams per tonne. Whilst that intersection is from slightly deeper in the system, a number of our intersections to date have been closer to surface, including 86.5 metres at 1.36 grams per tonne that we reported earlier this year. And really, those 2 intersections that I've flagged there are summarising the overall story we have here at Umbe, which is wide, lower grade intersections with narrower, high grade sweet spots. It reflects well the data that we've seen at surface through our previous rock chip sampling, soil and trench sampling programmes, and will, we believe, ultimately deliver a bulk tonnage gold resource that could be mined by open pit methods. In total, across the drilling programme to date, we've reported nearly 300 gold mineralised intersections using our 0.2 gram per tonne cutoff, which is a hit rate of 1 intersection per 21 metres drilled. And again, this relates to the strong steer that we've had right from the start from the surface data.
Claire, the recent drilling showed very high gold grades and you found mineralised zones outside the current exploration target. Can you tell us a bit more about this and what this means for the potential scale of Umbe?
Yeah, so the exploration target that you just referenced was published last month. It was a precursor to a full mineral resource estimate, or MRE. Effectively, it used all the data we had at that time, which was the first 13 holes from the drilling programme at the Umbe 01 South target, as well as the trenching data across both the Umbe 01 North and Umbe 01 South targets. As a whole, exploration targets are less accurate than MREs, and so are presented as a range of tonnages and grades that could be achieved. At Umbe, the midpoint of those values gives us 38 million tonnes at a mean grade of 0.86 grams per tonne, which equates to 1.1 million ounces of gold should this be upgraded to resource category. What's important to note is that the exploration target was a very first look-see at the data, and today's results have already started to challenge the upside potential of that target. It'll be really exciting to see just how much improvement there is when we come to publish the maiden MRE later this year, not only in terms of tonnage, but in terms of the average grade following these higher grade hits. And these new intersections have extended the width of the subsurface system to 450 metres, and the system extends over at least 400 metre strike length and to a depth of 290 metres. But currently it's open in all directions, and so until those hard limits are confirmed, there really will be continued potential to grow the asset base at the project. And to that end, we've also reported results for 5 rock chip samples which were collected from artisanal pits located 150 metres northwest of the current exploration target. They delivered up to 13 grams per tonne, and again, this demonstrates that we've really only scratched the surface here.
Claire, what news can investors expect next at Umbe?
Yeah, so the drilling programme is over 90% complete, and we'll hopefully be wrapping that up in the coming weeks. So far, we've reported results for 20 out of a planned 25 drill holes. Therefore, we still have results for those remaining holes, which we'll be looking to publish in the next month or so. Once those results are in, we'll then be able to get going with that maiden resource estimation, which is earmarked for release in Q4. We actually had a consultant from Forge International who's completing that resource estimation work on site at Umbe last week, completing all the necessary checks ahead of that estimation work. And so, subject to receiving those last final results, we're well on track to delivering that MRE on schedule. Once we have the MRE in hand, we'll then be better placed to make decisions on what the next steps at the project are, and we look forward to updating the market accordingly.
Maybe you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Claire, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thanks, Stephen.
Oriole Resources Executive Director Claire Bay.